I give the floor to the representative of the Russian Federation.
Thank you, Madam President. We deeply regret the vote on the draft of the Russian Federation for the draft resolution on the cross-border humanitarian assistance mechanism. My British colleague mentioned the height of hypocrisy, and I concur with her. However, we have another view as to who was hypocritical under these circumstances, and my German colleague, now, as is customary, attempted today to lecture us about diplomacy and pointed to, reproached us for a lack of desire to engage in compromise. We've already introduced a tremendous compromise on the resolution, but unfortunately this was not mentioned. More and more compromise was demanded of us, compromise was demanded of us, but effectively returning to the pen holders draft, which was initially unacceptable. We said this frankly from the very outset. However, the co-sponsors, for some reason, still continued not to believe this. To be, in actuality today, what we observed today were double standards of the humanitarian parents for the welfare of Syrian people. We were ready to extend the mechanism and to carry out what many said, the swift approval to deliver assistance to the Syrian people in those areas where such assistance was indeed of vital importance. At the same time, our colleagues who consistently accuse the Russian Federation of obstructing these efforts speak of lofty standards and principles of humanism, themselves interred this mechanism, and the arguments which cannot be justified, and these are using arguments that cannot be justified nor can withstand criticism. My question is rhetorical. Who won today? Nobody. Who lost? Those who lost are the Syrian people who, as was assured today by those who blocked our resolution, they constantly are concerned about the reasons for the reduction of the time frame for the cross-border mechanism and the reduction in the number of the crossing points that have been already mentioned and explained by us. What's most important, I wish to reiterate this, we were ready to extend the mechanism. Do not attempt to sweep this under the rug. Will the Syrian people understand for whom humanitarian assistance is intended? Will they understand the essence of our disagreements? 6 months or 12 months, what difference does it make to them? We do not accept the reproaches that have been addressed to us today. What are you reproaching us about? For the fact you did not accept our resolution extending the cross-border mechanism? You stripped the Syrians of the mechanism for the delivery of humanitarian assistance. Do not attempt to shift blame for this on us. What will you tell the correspondents? What will you tell the media when you leave the room today? That Russia killed the cross-border mechanism? Or will you point to this in your media outlets? How will you explain the fact that you voted against the Russian draft resolution, which provides for the extension of the provision of humanitarian assistance to people in need in Syria through the cross-border mechanism? Unfortunately, it is clear to us that some of our partners are adhering to not humanitarian goals, other goals, while again and again politicizing the humanitarian sphere ad infinitum. Russia will continue to deliver humanitarian assistance to Syrian people, will continue to work to rebuild the country, which has largely been razed due to the foreign intervention. Thank you, Madam President.
I thank the representative of the Russian Federation for his statement.